Yeah, what up, YouTube? Welcome back. Welcome back. We are on another episode of Curated Topics, the live stream, baby. The live stream. So, what's up with y'all? I hope everybody is doing well. Hope everybody's having a great week so far. Listen, it is some craziness going on this offseason in the NBA. It is some craziness going on this offseason in the NBA. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what is going on. But before we get to all that, we're going to do Candle of the Evening. What am I about to light? I'm about to light the Clase Azul bottle. This is the clean floral linen. I want it to smell nice and fresh and clean. So fresh and so clean. Up in here, up in the space. You know what I'm saying. And like I said, it is a sad day in the NBA today. Y'all see the title of the stream. Y'all see everything going on. The news broke earlier today. I don't know what's going on. All right, it's saying my chat is all messed up. I don't know why it's disconnected, but whatever. Hopefully it'll work in a little bit. I'll just put something in there. If somebody hops in, tell me if you can see it. So just a little test message. I don't know. But I know I haven't been on with y'all in a while. Haven't done a live stream in a while. I was actually waiting because I was trying to let some more drama just build up, and I was going to talk about it all at once. Do kind of like, I've been going for about 2 hours almost. So I was going to try and do like a 2-hour live stream. Then this news dropped today about Russell Westbrook. And, I was like, no, I need to hop on this evening. I'm not going to be on super long, maybe about an hour. But I want to get right to it. The boy Brody. First of all, before I even hop into the live part for the reactions, I got to say my own little 2 cents. I got to give my flowers real quick. I want to congratulate Russell Westbrook for 18 years. For the last 18 years, Russell Westbrook has been nothing but outstanding, nothing but a continuous motor. And I'm happy that I got to see him play live more than a few times, but I got to see him play live probably 3, 4, or 5 times, something like that. I think it's like 5. But, amazing player. You all see the title. So the news is that Russell Westbrook has decided that after 18 years, he wanted to retire from the NBA, as we can see right here. And, like I said, it is a sad day because it's not what we wanted to see. You know what I mean? This off season has been wild. We've seen guys move around teams. We've seen guys be traded. And Russell Westbrook was one of those guys who was still left in free agency. And, we're wondering, all right, so where is Brody going? Is he going to stay with the Kings? Is he going somewhere else? There were some rumors about him potentially going to Miami. That was something I was kind of excited to see because I wanted to see Russell Westbrook play with Giannis. Long time ago. This was back when I used to play 2K. I don't play anymore. I think it got a little too repetitive for me. I don't really play any sports games anymore. But back when I was playing 2K, I used to do this all the time, and it was just, just something for fun, where I would just make some trades. Like I would start an 82 game season, and I would make certain trades to different teams and things like that, and pair guys up together. Russell Westbrook was somebody who I paired up with Giannis. And oh my goodness, it was Lob City. You know what I'm saying? It was the return of Lob City. And when the rumors came out that he might be going to Miami this year, I got excited. I'm not going to lie to you. I got excited. I was like, oh man, this is going to be great. Russ will be playing. You know, he might get a chance to play with Giannis. My trade dreams came true. That's not what happened. That is not what happened. There were some weird rumors that came out about coaches who contacted the Miami Heat to put smut on Russell Westbrook's name. I think that is honestly, I think that's just utterly asinine. To try and railroad somebody's career like that, I think is terrible. You know, it's one thing if the coach reached out to you and was like, "Hey, can you tell me about how it was, Coach Russ?" No, these people went out of their way to basically kind of blackball him. I think that comes from a sense of fear, especially if it's a coach who's still in the league. I think it comes from somebody who may have had an issue with Russell Westbrook and, you know, they wanted to hate on him. And, you know, haters gonna hate. So that, you know, that did not happen. He did not get picked up by the Miami Heat. And instead, he decided he was going to retire. Now, how do we find out about his retirement? We found out about his retirement through a announcement that was narrated by Michael B. Jordan. And I thought that was interesting. I thought it was interesting how it was set up and done. And I kind of like how it was set up. So let's check it out.
Not a mistake. We left it this way on purpose. Because whatever's next, the mentorship, the foundation, the kids who are going to grow up wanting to move just like he did, that part hasn't been built yet either. Were you ever afraid of what happens after the game stops needing you? This wing isn't finished. Neither is he. And that's the point. Last question. Now that you decided to step away from everything on your own terms, what are you the most proud of? That might be.
Now, I want to talk about this right quick. So, first of all, I think Michael B. Jordan did a great job. Great job doing the narration, doing the voiceover work for that. And I like the concept overall. Here it is. We see Russell Westbrook walking into a room that looks like it's either being constructed or remodeled. And there's a pause. There's a pause going on. So shout out to his team. This was a great PR job. Great. If they're going to market it to become something else, great marketing job. But just a good job overall with the message, right? With the message, hey, you're in a new chapter, you're in a new room of the house that or building or wherever, and it's not complete yet. So you're in this space, you're writing this part of the book, you know, you're creating this space as you go along, and you know, you have closed a door to another room and come into a new space where you're going to do new things. Now, one thing I don't agree with is where it says where he talked about how, you know, how does it feel not how does it feel to be not needed anymore? I think that is an absolute lie. Not lie on their part. Um I think that it's a lie on the league's part because Russell Westbrook is definitely needed. The type of effort that he gives each game, his style of play, his knowledge, his ferocious attitude, his locker room presence, all of that is definitely needed. Definitely needed. And almost everybody who has played with him has had great things to say about him, not only as a player, but as a teammate as well, as a friend off the court. So to say he's not needed, I think that is not true. That's as far as I'm going to go with that. I think that that's not true. He's definitely needed in this league. And to be quite honest with you, I can think of a couple of teams that would benefit from having him on their team. Miami would be one. Now, would he be a starter? I don't know. But Miami would certainly be one. Detroit would be another. Now, he was starting Detroit. And then Cade Cunningham can go back to playing the forward position, a position that they really need him to be at, especially with Tobias Harris gone. That's neither here nor there. But those kind of teams where he can fill in that role as the point guard and really go back to doing what he does best. And that is attacking the basket and facilitating the ball. To this date, there still is no player who attacks the basket like Russell Westbrook. Not a single one. And I dare you to try and find him. There isn't a single one. Now, I want to talk about this right quick. Why is it that he could be choosing to make his retirement now? Well, let's take a look at this right here. This is just a graphic, but this is a graphic of pretty much all the teams that Russell Westbrook has played on. The only team I don't see in this graphic is Houston. 76ers looking at a 2-for-1. But check this out. No one is going to the basket with the same level of ferociousness and courage. Wow. Woo! No fear. Give me that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't realize that there was a highlight there. But the only team I didn't see in the picture there was Houston. But as you can see, even when he was playing with the Lakers, he was taking that ball to the hole with a level of just ferocity. I mean, get out the way. Move, I live. I'm putting the ball in the hole. You can't stop me. And I guarantee you he could take that to another team. I guarantee you he could take that to another team. He's always going to give you 100+%. It's always going to be 100, 125%, as some people say. And those are the type of guys, I don't care what you say, man, those are the type of guys who are almost invaluable to a team. Like too much value. Too much value. So we going to go through tonight. Tonight is going to be the Give Russ His Flowers night. And that's what we going to do. So I want to check this out. It's just another thing saying that he announced his retirement. Shout out to Russ. Hold on. We going to clap it up for Russ, man. We going to clap it up for Russ one time. He says, sometimes you don't even know when you've already watched the end. You had to be there, and now it's over. I don't like that. No, Russ, this is him during his MVP season. The new Mr. Triple-Double. The new Mr. Triple-Double. He did something where I had never seen that in my lifetime, right? I never saw somebody just get triple doubles at will like that. I'm talking about like he went like 40 something games during the NBA season getting triple doubles. He averaged a triple double for multiple seasons. I actually want to look this up now. Yep. Shout out to Google. They know what I was looking for. How many seasons did Russell Westbrook average a triple-double? 4 times. 4 times. Almost 4 straight times. Almost 4 straight times. That is crazy. That is crazy. He did it in 2016, 2017, where he averaged 31 points, 10.7 rebounds, 10.4 assists. Then 2017, 2018, 25 points. And I think this was when they got Paul George, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. 2018, 2019, 22 points, almost 23, 22.9, 11.1 rebounds, 10.7 assists. And then in 2020, going into 2021, 22 points per game, 11.5 rebounds, 11.7 assists per game. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? We are talking about 4 seasons, not 1, not 2, not 3, 4. Who do I sound like? Not 1, not 2. 4 seasons of triple doubles? That is wild. That is wild. So we got to give Russ his flowers. We have to take that time to say congratulations, because this is a stellar career. This is an absolute stellar career. And you cannot deny his greatness. You cannot deny his greatness. We're going to be talking about this all week. And I guarantee you there are going to be some more things to come out about this, especially probably tomorrow, because I didn't see that he retired until like mid-afternoon, something like that. This is going to be wild. This is, to me, I'm sad because, to be quite honest with you, Russ was probably like my favorite point guard in the league. I wouldn't say right now, because right now, I didn't watch him while he was on the Kings, not too much. I watched a couple games to say that I watched Russ play, but it's also the Kings. But I will say this, that during his career, Russ was probably my favorite point guard for, like, I would say at least 10 to 13 of those 18 seasons. At least 10 to 13. So, once again, shout out to Russ. On 520, it was asked who was like the better finisher or something like that, or who would you rather have, Russ or D Rose? And I mean, D Rose, his potential and his trajectory was so high, but I also think that this is an excellent comparison, simply because these guys, their game, I wouldn't call their game super similar. They're both athletic guys, both super athletic, crazy athletic, can jump out the gym, both super fast, good facilitators, can score the ball, play with a level of aggression. I just said they're not that similar. Here I am. But anyway, play with a level of aggression. But where I would say Derrick Rose played aggressive yet calm, Russell Westbrook played aggressive and angry. Russell Westbrook played like if you turn Derrick Rose into the Hulk. Like, Russell Westbrook played, he was one of the shortest on the floor because he's a point guard, but he played like he was the biggest on the floor. Pause. Super pause. That's just how he played. I would go as far as to say, when it comes to point guards, Russ played with a level of dominance. Now, I wish he would have got that ring, because then he could have claimed all the dominance. But when you're leading your team in pretty much every stat line, You're dominant. Okay, you're dominant. Russ is like Russ is low key like the Shaquille O'Neal of point guards, where yeah, you might have somebody who's the better shooter and like Steph Curry. You might have a better all around point guard like Chris Paul. You might have somebody who's better at some certain things, but Russell Westbrook is probably one of the most ferocious point guards we've ever seen. I mean, if you see him go down the lane, he will lay the ball up, but that's not his go-to. He's like, I'm dunking this on your head. I'm dunking it on your head. Pause. That's who he is. Now, there's some rumors that have started around, why he left or did he get some offers because there were a lot of teams who were looking over him. And here it says he did get some offers and he still chose to retire. Now, it says he got offers from the Kings and the Wizards. I'm not going to lie, I'd have retired too. Like, why would I go to the Kings? The Wizards now, they got AD, they got Trae Young. But the only thing is like, I worry about AD. I really do. Because, one bad day and he's injured. And not just, he's got to miss a couple games. He's out for like the next season or two. Like, I don't even remember the last time I saw Anthony Davis play. So, if I was to get something from the Wizards, like an offer like that, and I'm Russell Westbrook, I'm not mad at the decision to be like, nah, I'm about to hang it on up. Because unless he's on a team where he is legitimately a contender for a championship, I don't see it. I just don't see it. Now, you got a lot of people who got some stuff to say about Russ and his career. After he left from the Thunder, he bounced around. He bounced around quite a bit, but I think it was because he spent so much time, trying to win with OKC. And in that whole move, he got shafted. That whole Kevin Durant ordeal, he got shafted. He got shafted. And you know what? And this is what I respect. And this is, I think, what made him like my favorite point guard in the league. He didn't complain. He didn't complain. When Kevin Durant left and went to the Warriors, Russ did not complain, or he didn't do so publicly. I don't know what he did in his private life, but he didn't complain. And then on top of that, he went out and balled. He went out and dominated. That season, every time they played the Warriors, Russ was like, nah, I'm coming out here. I'm guarding Kevin. Right? Here it is. He might be 6'3". I'm guarding 6'11", 7-foot Kevin Durant. I'm ripping the ball from him. I'm blocking him. I'm dunking on him. I'm trying to win the game. Even if they didn't win the game. Yeah, but you didn't do none of that stuff on me. And that's where he really, really earned my respect. He was like, okay, Kevin want to leave? Bet. And I just respect the amount of grind. I respect the amount of hustle. I respect the fact that he went out and for four seasons, he said, you know what? My team ain't going to be weak. My team ain't going to be weak. He carried that team to the playoffs. He attracted a Paul George. He helped Paul George have a comeback season where Paul George was starting to be considered for MVP. Now, he had already came back from injury by playing in Indiana. But what I mean is he helped elevate Paul George to the point where Paul George was being considered for MVP. Paul George was being called the GOAT by some kids. Now, I don't agree with that at all. But, he he helped push that part of his career forward. So gotta give all the respect to Russell Westbrook. Let's see how some people feel, man. Let's see how some people feel about it. This is the exact face I made when I saw the post about him retiring. When I first saw the post, I almost clicked past it because I didn't think that's what it was. I thought he was about to hop on and do something, where he's talking about his fashion or something like that. I didn't realize this was a retirement video when I first, so I almost missed it. I almost missed it. This says my childhood really over, bro. Yeah, yeah, my childhood is really over. He was in the 2008 draft. I was, I'm aging myself, but I was, what, like about to be a junior in high school, something like that. Wish he could have got a ring. I wish he could have got a ring too. I wish he could have got a ring too. And I might do another live stream tomorrow. Y'all will see the title. But I wish he could have got a ring too. I actually might have to put him up there as one of the best to never get a ring. Definitely, especially with his resume and his statistical performances. I might have to put him up there. Says my GOAT, top 3 PG of all time. Facts. Facts. Top 3 of all time. I got Magic up there. Got Steph Curry up there. I might have to put Russ in, man. I might have to put Russ in. He is Mr. Triple Double. If not top 3, definitely top 5. 18 seasons is a hell of a run. Yup. An absolute legend and one of the most exciting players to ever step onto a basketball court. The league won't be the same without his unmatched energy. Enjoy retirement, Brody. This sums it up all right here. This sums it up all right here. He was probably one of the most energetic and exciting players to ever step onto the court. When it comes to dunking, there are very few people who in game were dunking with the level of ferociousness as Russell Westbrook. I'm talking about pause. He would cock the thing back and then slam it, and you would hear it like echo through the microphones. I just fell to my knees before going into the gym. I felt this way when I got out the car, reading it. Legend of the game and legend of the gift. I remember this interview. I watched this interview live. I remember, what? Y'all tripping. But like I said, we got to say congratulations. Top point guard of all time. Enjoy retirement. GOAT. He is one of the greatest of all time. One of the greatest point guards to ever do it. And something that he will do that nobody else will. At least not anytime soon. Nobody else is gonna break that triple double record. Especially in the amount of seasons. In the amount of seasons that he was doing it, nope. Now I want to see his career stats. I want to see his career stats real quick. Because for his career, this just gives me every year. I want to see the whole career, man. Okay, so for the whole career, he's not at a triple double. I was thinking maybe he'd be close. 20.9 points per game, 6.9 rebounds, 8 assists. I'm assuming that a lot of this is from early on in his career where he didn't average that many rebounds or assists. Yeah, that's what it's looking like. That is what it's looking like, because once Kevin Durant left, it was just like, all right, I'm going to do everything now. And I think it was that year, maybe the year before Kevin Durant left. What I'm looking at, when I don't even remember when he left, but 2014, 2015, Russ started to realize, hey, I can rebound the ball. He averaged 7.3 rebounds per game. And then from there, it just kind of takes off where it increases. And, you know, as he continued to go on, and once he left OKC, as he started to go on and play for some of these other teams, he never, he slowed down on some teams, but barely. You know what I mean? Barely. He slowed down in Houston. I think that's just because he was playing with James Harden at the time. You know, James Harden was leading in assists and doing his thing, but he still had respectable 7 rebounds, almost 8 and 7 assists. So still dropping 25 a game, doing his thing. When he went to Washington, I think everybody thought he was going to be, heading on the downslide of his career, and he actually picks it up. Oh, excuse me. When he was in Houston, he was at 27 points per game. Excuse me. But then he goes to Washington, 22 per game, 11 and a half rebounds, 11.7 assists. And that was with a team that had Bradley Beal on it, where Bradley Beal, I think, was leading the league in points. So, Brody ain't never been no slouch. Brody ain't never been no slouch. And that's what we got to keep in mind when we think about his career. This is why he deserves all the flowers, because he has shown that he is willing to give his all and play with maximum effort. And not only that, but he gets results with his energy and effort. Now, a lot of people going to be like, well, he ain't win. He didn't get no chip. Yeah, but, we don't know all the factors that play into that. And I'm not going to subscribe to the narrative that Russell Westbrook can't win. I'm not going to do it. Because here's the thing. When he was on a team, when he was on a correctly constructed team, they made it to the finals. And it wasn't like, oh, well, they went and then they just, fell off the face of the planet. Other things happened where they were maybe a piece away from winning with the Oklahoma City Thunder. They decided to break the team up and go a different direction. And they still made it to the playoffs again. They still made it to, I want to say, the Western Conference Finals again, where it's him and Kevin Durant trying to do their thing against Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and all of them. And they had it in the bag. They were up 3-1. So it's not just like, oh, they became slouches. When Kevin left, Russ stayed and Russ balled out, put his best foot forward, and had an MVP season. Could have arguably had two. With him averaging a triple-double 2 seasons in a row, he could have argued that he deserved a second MVP. And then he went out and did it a third time. He did it so many times that it was like, one, it started to become normal, but it changed the game. You started to see other players shoot for those stat lines to have mass production for their team. Joker is one of them. Nikola Jokic, he is one of them who, I'm not saying he start playing like Russell Westbrook, different position, different level of athleticism, all of that. But you saw him start to contribute in the same ways, where it's, okay, I'm going to pass the ball and facilitate. I'm going to rebound and I'm going to score. And you start to see that happen a lot more around the league after Russell Westbrook made it a thing. When you do it 4 times in 4 seasons, not even 4 times, when you do it 4 seasons where you're averaging a triple double, you have made it a thing. So, like I said, this is the Russell Westbrook Flowers Show.
Athletic marvel, a spectacle. Like when you can play sports at the highest level, which obviously.
And they should have been showing some of his OKC photos.
And you stand out for your athleticism and your energy. That's special. Now, I used to say he would be iconic, like an Allen Iverson, like a Pistol Pete Maravich, who also neither won championships, but they're icons. He averaged triple-double 4 years. Jokic doing it the last 2 years has taken a little bit of shine off. It's still a tremendous achievement. He's the only one to do it 4 times. I think now we feel like maybe Luka 1 year, somebody else might do it as well, and Jokic might do it a few more times. So that to me takes a little bit of his iconic status. I don't think he'll be an icon.
No, I don't take it away.
All-time great.
He changed the game.
Hall of Famer, on the top 75 team already, rightly so. I think it's good that he's stepping away, and he should get his flowers. He'll be remembered as.
I can't say that it's good that he's stepping away. He 1,000% deserves his flowers. Now, I disagree with Chris Broussard with a couple of the things he says. It's not taking away his iconic status at all, because he's the one who made it popular. Now, Oscar Robertson was the first one to do it, but Russell Westbrook made it a household name. He made the triple-double a household name. He made averaging a triple-double a household name. Okay, Jokic has done it twice. That nobody else has. Nobody else has it 4 times. Nobody. So stop trying to say it's going to take away from his iconic status. It absolutely does not. He has set the bar, and now other players want to be like him. What does that mean? That sounds like the definition of an icon. Hello. So I disagree with Chris Broussard there. I disagree where he says he should have retired. Like, nah. I think that Russell Westbrook probably has some more seasons in him. I think with him not being able to get in the right situation, that's contributing to this decision. I think he has heard all of the smut that the media and the league is putting on his name. And he's like, you know what? I'm done. Y'all not about to do me like Chris Paul. Bring me back to my team just to wave me. Y'all not about to do me like that. And I want to know what's up with that. I'm not here to talk about Chris Paul today.
When this show first started was the year he won his MVP. Even then, in the midst of winning the MVP, he was somewhat polarizing amongst media, basketball fans, but certainly the analytics crew of how good is he really? One of the things I used to say, if you have a kid that plays sports, Russ might be the #1 guy I would tell them to watch, as far as you have no idea the time of the game, if it's a playoff game or not, the score of the game, if you watch his effort. He was full energy at all times, full effort, and I do think the analytics community has a hole in some of the algorithms is the difficulty of being that high usage, what it does to your own efficiency, but how it potentially helps some of your teammates' efficiency, because like Iverson took all the bad shots for the Sixers. And so peak Russ, I think, was a better player than he is remembered for being by some of the smart numbers. Yeah. When this show first started was the year.
And that's the problem with analytics, right? Analytics don't measure somebody's energy. Analytics don't measure somebody's heart or somebody's passion for the game. Analytics are just numbers. And here's the thing. He broke the analytics too. He went out there averaging over 30 points, averaging over 10 assists, averaging over 10 rebounds as a point guard. Normally, you see point guards dominate one, maybe two of those categories, and it certainly ain't rebounds. You can see them averaging, 30 points, and then they might get 10 assists. But that's rare. Even the ones who averaging 30 points, to average 10 assists on top of those 30 points, it's rare. Now, you might see guys, okay, they might have like 25. They might have, 27, 22, and then getting 10 plus assists per game. When James Harden did it, we saw him lead the league in assists, but he didn't lead the league in points. Russell Westbrook was out there doing both and leading his team in rebounds. You got a whole center and you get more rebounds than the center. So when they talk about analytics, the analytics say that he was inefficient. The analytics don't do his career, any justice. Are you motherfuckers watching the game or are you just watching the stat line? Excuse my language, YouTube, but what are you doing? This is for the people who they only watch the numbers on the graph go up and down. You're not watching the games. You cannot allow the analytics to dictate this man's legacy and to dictate the impact that he had on the game. Because no matter what you say, Brody was cold. Brody was cold. Let's watch some highlights.
I don't know if I'm the only one, but this retirement caught me off guard, bro. I was not expecting to wake up today and see that Russ retired, bro. Like, come on, son. Your flowers been given, bro. Mr. Triple-Double, Mr. 40, 20, and 20. Like, come on, man. Like, going 125% every time, bro. No cap. That dog and grit coming at you 100 miles per hour. He get on that rim.
On your head.
We won't forget Russ. The respect, they gotta start putting some respect on your name, man. Like, come on, bro. Like, that dunk was nasty.
Nasty.
Windy, close the window. You know what I'm saying? Man, listen, bro. This is back when Russ was cashing from the Trey Pound.
Wow.
And he was hitting that
cradle to baby.
Add the bounce. Ain't nobody like Russ, bro. Ain't nobody like Russ, man. Dead appreciate you, bro. No cap. Hey. I don't know if I'm the only one, but this retirement
off the window.
Bro, I was not expecting
off the window. That's how I remember Russ. 100 miles a minute. If he saw any space in the lane, it's over with. Did y'all see that two-hander though? I mean, Brody came down, pow pow, on your head. What are we talking about? So to those people talking about the analytics D's. Pause. Analytics D's. I don't want to hear no smut on Russ's name or his legacy. His legacy is cemented. Absolutely cemented.
Russell Westbrook, someone who kind of gets a bad rep from the outside, but I always hear that teammates really appreciate and respect what he's got going on. What was it like playing with Russ before he got moved?
Yeah, he's one of the best teammates I've ever had. As a person, you can't get much better.
I didn't even know he played with him.
Like December of my rookie year in Minnesota. I was stuck in Minnesota for like 7 days, so it was rough. But, he reached out like 3 or 4 times, asked if I need anything, offered to send me stuff, whatever I needed. So as a person, you couldn't get better. And same as a teammate, like he was always, empowering everybody to really, be better and do better and want more. And like you said, he gets a bad rap, and I don't really understand why.
Russell Westbrook, someone who kind of gets a bad...
I don't understand why either, man. I didn't even know Austin Reeves played with Russ. I remember Russ playing for the Lakers, but I did not remember that Austin Reeves was on the team at the time. How many of y'all knew that? How many of y'all knew that? I bet you not too many. So here it is. We see even Russ, man, even Austin Reeves. And Austin Reeves is considered good in the NBA now. Even Austin Reeves, man, said nothing but consummate professional, nothing but a good guy. So when people give him this bad rep, I ain't trying to hear none of that, man. I'm really not. I'm not gonna lie, this kind of hurts. This kind of hurts. This kind of hurts my heart, man. Russ being out, I'm not ready for that.
Were you ever afraid?
Oh, this is the
What
video
happens
again.
after the game stops needing you?
I don't even want to watch that part again. I don't even want to watch that part again. We just gonna go down. Thank you for the memories. Yes, thank you for the memories, Russ. He's been on a lot of teams. Been on a lot of teams. My favorite is always going to be the Oklahoma City Thunder. I actually really liked when he was with the Clippers as well. I thought that was going to be a good team. I thought they were well constructed, and I was excited to see what they were going to do. But when I say the consummate professional, I actually want to stop and talk about his time in both LA for the Lakers, and really every team, and for the Denver Nuggets. Now, when he got to the Lakers, it was, how's he going to play with LeBron? How's he going to play with all these other guys? What's his role going to be? And that's kind of where the bad rap actually started to take place in his career, because he was with LeBron James and some of those other guys, and he was in a role where that is not typically his role. They put him as like a spot-up shooter. He started shooting more threes than I think he had in previous years. And this is where the bad rap started. And I'm not upset or nothing, but I didn't like that when he was on the Lakers, right? I didn't think that was a good look. I didn't think it was a good move. What I did want to see, I wanted to see in that time, the hindsight 2020, but I wanted to see him be the lead facilitator. But, when you got LeBron James on the team, that's kind of LeBron's role. I'm not hating. I'm just saying. For them to start using Russ as like the spot up guy or the corner three guy, nah, that's not his game. It never has been. That was when the real Russell Westbrook smut started. And, that was sad to see. But what we did see, we saw him say, hey, you know what? You guys want me to take the back seat? I'll take the back seat, to the point where he started coming off the bench. And I mean, he wasn't old, but he wasn't young, but he wasn't old at this point. He was still a starter, but he said, for the good of the team, I'll start coming off the bench. That's the consummate professional that he was. And he did the same in Denver. And I would argue him and Jokic together in Denver was a scary sight. It was a scary sight. The two of them getting triple doubles in the same game. Woo! Okay. I remember what this is how I will remember Russ. 100 miles a minute, making ugly faces at the rim. Pause. I'm not dogging you, Russ. This is your intensity. Pause. This is also how I remember you. Pause. This is an iconic photo. This right here is an iconic photo. Is that Gobert? Dunking on Rudy Gobert when he was with the Lakers. Give me that, Kevin Durant. I might have to get this as a poster. Yeah, I'm about to save that. I'm about to save that image. Putting that up. That's going to be up on the wall. You best believe. Hold on. Where's my... Sorry, y'all. I'm definitely getting this picture, though. Yeah. I'm putting that on the poster. You best believe. All right, let's get to one more.
A single person slander Westbrook today because this man
Period. Not even just today.
As the greatest all-around point guard of all time. I mean, in his prime, this man was genuinely unstoppable. KD gets a steal, right? And he throws a lob right to Westbrook, a point guard. Most point guards either rim graze it or lay it up. But this is not most point guards.
Nope.
This is Russell Westbrook.
Durant running to the rim.
But then his NBA teammate left him, right? Stabbed the entire city in the back. Everyone's thinking the Thunder aren't going to be good anymore. And what does Westbrook do the following season? Averages 32, 11, and 10 as a point guard. 32 triple-doubles in a single season. Gets a scoring title. He was a one-man army of a highlight. He stuck to the city after the biggest star left. And every single game, he went to war. Russell Westbrook.
And became the bigger star.
Never forget you. I better not see a...
He became the bigger star for that city. And he was never supposed to. And he said, you know what? I committed. I didn't turn my back. That's how he played every game. Intensity and passion. This says Westbrook deliberately getting a tech just so he can hype the crowd up even more is an all-time Nuggets playoff moment. Yes, there it is. Give me that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hang on the rim.
Technical foul on Westbrook.
107 to 76.
But the fiery Russell Westbrook.
But do you see the passion? The hypeness of the crowd. What D Wade got to say? No one has a career like Russell Westbrook. He is one of one. Facts.
This is having one of the most underappreciated careers that we will see. And there's guys that come along, one that's sitting in front of you, that careers get underappreciated. You know, it's undervalued and underappreciated for whatever the reasons are. Yeah. But in his own right, just one of the GOAT careers because it's just customized and no one has one like it. Like, no one has a career like Russell Westbrook. And no one plays the game like Russell Westbrook. You know, he's a one of one. Russ is having one of the most underappreciated careers that we will see. And there's guys that come.
But to further his point, how many people have been put in the situation that he was put in? Here it is, you come in and you're like, I mean, when he was drafted to the Thunder, I don't even know if he came in as like the designated number 2, because at the time they had Jeff Green, they had Kevin Durant, they had some other players. And so Russ comes in to be that piece to, you know, help them start to build. Does he come in as the automatic number 2 to Kevin Durant? Maybe so. I don't know. I wasn't the coach. But here he is. He works his way, showcases his talent to say, I'm the second best player on this team. Then they continue to build. They get to an NBA Finals. They lose, but they get there. Something the team hadn't done in that city's tenure. They did one time as the Seattle Supersonics. They hadn't been since Gary Payton. So he and Kevin Durant make it to the finals. Then, you know, they get rid of James Harden. That messes up the team. They don't get back. Then they're in the Western Conference Finals. He's doing all he can. Kevin is doing what he can. And they end up losing to the Warriors, a dynasty team. And then you have Kevin Durant leave. You have your star player up and leave. And there's a lot of drama around the way that Kevin Durant left. I'm not going to get into all of that because this ain't the Kevin Durant show. But there's a lot of drama around how he left. And you're looking at it like, okay, well, I guess they about to be a rebuild team. I guess they about to be a rebuild team. And Russell Westbrook says, hell no, we ain't. And he turns himself into the number one player. He turns himself into an MVP. Carries the team. Literally carries the team on his back. He didn't have no number two. His number two was what? Steven Adams? Thabo Sefolosha? I want to say Anthony Morrow. Those were his guys. And I'm not talking bad about them, but I'm just saying, like, he has no number two star. He has no other, there's no other superstar playing with him. There's no other star playing with him. It's him and a bunch of role players. I don't think he had another all-star until Paul George came. And he still carried the team to be fourth or fifth in those playoffs. Absolute amazing career. Absolutely amazing career. Countless memories, facts. And he did everything his way. And he certainly did lead the game better than he found it. Shout out to Russell Westbrook. Kendrick Perkins, what you got? He says, to me, top 10 greatest point guard of all time. His resume speaks for itself. It absolutely does.
When you got off the bus on the road and you're walking into a visiting arena, you have a certain type of
on your head, boy.
Walking into that locker room.
Give me that.
When you know you're getting off the bus with Russell Westbrook. That's the type of guy he is. And player-wise, when you look at his resume, to me, top 10 greatest point guard of all time. His resume speaks for itself. First ballot Hall of Famer. I'm just proud to sit here and say that I'm happy and love every moment that I shared with him on the floor and off the floor. When you got off the bus on the road,
two-time scoring leader,
visiting arena, you have
two-time scoring leader. He definitely should have a statue outside in OKC. Second greatest Thunder of all time. Facts. And that would have been, now I want to comment on that right quick. That would have been another team that I think he actually would have been perfect for. Absolutely perfect for. I think you go to the Oklahoma City Thunder not only to play, but now you have that chance for title contention. And if you want, you retire as a Thunder. You can make this your last year or the next 2 years your last year. You retire as a Thunder and get your statue, get your jersey retired, all the flowers. Can you imagine? Oh my God, Russ playing one of his final games with the Oklahoma City Thunder and he just breaks out another dunk. That would have been absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Retirement, man. Shout out to the Brody. 18 years of being a straight dog. Russell Westbrook was a different breed. We ain't gonna see another Russ. Man, Brody was Mr. Triple-Double. Mr. Why Not? Mr. Get down that lane and sham his ass right to the hee-hee. Man, Russ came into the league in straight kill mode. Anybody in front of him. When Russ first got to the league, he wasn't even a natural point guard. He turned into one of the best ever. You never knew what to expect with Russ. He throw it off a man back, fade away to beat the buzzer. He was just different and didn't give no fucks. Russ wasn't playing no games. I don't know why he would do Luke Rittenhouse. This man was just an explosion of energy. The league ain't know what to do with Brody. Fuck is he? Go ahead, get it out the net. Talk about how a point guard has the most triple doubles in NBA history and averaged a triple double for an entire season. And he did
4
it
seasons.
Goddamn time. The man averaged a 32-point triple double one year. Did it so much people start acting like it was regular. R.I.P. to Nipsey Hussle. Russ dropped a 20-20-20 game for his mans. You know how crazy that is in the damn near pre-planet? 20 points, 20 rebounds, 20 assists in one game by one man. And man, I know the Thunder is nice now, but Russ used to have OKC so
look at that.
Held it down when KD left. In fact, he turned into a different animal. You want to talk about MVP shit? He did this on the night he broke a triple-double record. And now let's get to the fun. Rule number 1. Watch your head. See,
watch your head, boy.
Anybody at that Russell Westbrook was one of the scariest people you could see coming to that rim. For 18 straight years, he was punishing shit. Like actual body bags, anybody in his way. Russell
Facts.
Westbrook deserved the utmost flowers. Half-court sets, it ain't matter. You better be Brody. It was like 5 seconds left. Any normal person dribble this out. Let's go to the rim and bang on it.
Give me that.
It's just different. Man, he got sent out to Washington, and he was supposed to be watched. Was still body bagging shit. Averaged a triple-double that year, too. Russ one of the only dudes I know can go full speed, no slowing down, and bang on some shit. He ain't have to gather or nothing. Just get to that rim and see red. If you stupid enough to stand there, you stupid enough to die. They would ever want about Russell Westbrook. He never cheated the game.
Ooh, oh, Rudy Gobert.
Low-key, I heard a rumor that he might come back, man. What you say, Russ?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Y'all niggas tripping.
I'm out, man. Y'all niggas tripping.
Russell Westbrook just announced.
That's what he should have said, to be honest. He should have recreated that. He should have recreated that and then left it at that. That would have been crazy. That would have been crazy. All right, so I got a couple more clips, but I said I was only going to do an hour. I'm going to leave off with this last clip, and then we're going to close it on out. But this is how we all reacted seeing Russ retire. This is how we all reacted. I had to cut the music because, YouTube be hating. But this is how we all reacted, knowing that he's leaving. He's like, hey, cut. Nah, cut it. What a career, man. Shout out to Russell Westbrook. I'm actually going to hop on live tomorrow because I want to talk a little bit more about this. I got a couple more, ideas and such. And then we're going to go over some of the other drama that's going on in the NBA because there is so much drama in the NBA. Hey, we're going to talk about it. But once again, shout out to Russell Westbrook. Congratulations, Brody. We're going to clap it on out again. One more time for his career. I want to say thank you to everybody who tuned in. I don't know what's going on with the live stream chat right now. I'm going to get that figured out by the morning time. I don't know if it was working or not, but if not, if you watch this on the replay, throw your thoughts in the comments. Tell me how y'all feel about this, man. I am a little bit sad, but I want to congratulate Russ on a wonderful career, wonderful 18-year career. Shout out, but it's about to be different in the NBA now, man. It is about to be different. Feeling old. Feeling super old now. So, all right, y'all. Shout out to everybody who subscribed. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. We working over here. We building each other up. I also will be dropping some recordings coming soon, and I got some more things coming at you. So stay tuned. All right. As I always say, I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace. Y'all have a good day tomorrow, man. Happy hump day.